Good morning everyone, my name is Jason Dobby Anak Duneng and I today will be presenting my final year project proposed title Code Switching as a Strategy During Lexical Retrieval Difficulty Among Malay English Bilingual Undergraduates. My supervisor for this study is Madam Radina. Malaysia is a multilingual country where many university students regularly use both Malay and English in daily communication. Because of this bilingual environment, code switching has become a common phenomenon among bilingual speakers. Previous studies mainly discussed code switching from social-linguistic perspective such as identity, communications, and classroom interactions. However, psycholinguistic studies suggest that code switching may also occur during moments of lexical retrieval difficulty where speakers struggles to retrieve vocabulary items during speech productions. Studies by Green, Golin, and Ferreira, and Muta and Albert showed that bilingual speakers manage two active language systems simultaneously, which may create lexical competitions during speech. Although previous studies examined bilingual language switching through experiments and corpus analysis, limited studies focus on spontaneous speaking tasks among Malay English bilingual undergraduates in Malaysia. Therefore, this study aims to explore how code switching functions during lexical retrieval difficulty in bilingual speech production. The aim of this study is to investigate how code switching functions as lexical retrieval strategy among Malay English bilingual undergraduates during speech productions. The first objective is to identify the frequency of code switching occurrences during speaking tasks. The second objective is to analyze the type of words or expressions that are code switched during speech productions. The third objective is to explore how code switching occurs during moments of lexical retrieval difficulty among bilingual undergraduates. In this study, code switching refers to the alternations from English to Malay during spontaneous speaking tasks. Lexical retrieval difficulty refers to difficulty retrieving words during speech production, which may appear through pauses, fillers, hesitation markers, or self-corrections. Hesitation markers includes expressions such as repeated words, or silent pauses. Lastly, the elicited speaking task refers to short spontaneous speaking activity where participants respond verbally to given prompts. This study is significant both theoretically and practically. Theoretically, the study contributes to psycholinguistic research related to bilingual speech production and lexical retrieval processes. It also supports Green's inhibitory control model by exploring how bilingual speakers manage simultaneous language activation. Practically, the findings may help educators and researchers better understand bilingual communications behavior among university students, especially during spontaneous speech production. The study may also contribute to future bilingualisms and code switching research in Malaysian contexts. The literature review focuses on four main areas, which are code switching among bilingual speakers, lexical retrieval during speech production, hesitation markers, and code switching as a communication strategy. Previous study by Golden and Ferreira as well as Muta and Albert found that bilingual speakers often experience lexical competitions during speech productions. Researchers also reported that pauses, fillers, and hesitation markers commonly appear during moments of lexical retrieval difficulty. In addition, several studies suggest that code switching may help bilingual speakers maintain communications fluency when retrieval becomes difficult. However, many previous studies relied on experimental tasks such as speech naming or reaction time measurement. Therefore, it's still limited research using spontaneous speaking tasks among Malay English bilingual undergraduates. This study is guided by Green's inhibitory control model proposed in 1998. According to the model, bilingual speakers manage two active language systems simultaneously during speech productions. Because both languages remain active, bilingual speakers may experience lexical competitions while retrieving words. When lexical retrieval becomes difficult, bilingual speakers may hesitate, pause, or switch languages temporarily in order to maintain communications fluency. Therefore, this theory helped explain the possible relationship between lexical retrieval difficulty and code switching behavior during bilingual speech production. This conceptual framework illustrates the flow of the study. During bilingual speech productions, speakers may experience lexical retrieval difficulty. This difficulty may appear through pauses, fillers, hesitation markers, or delay responses. As a strategy to maintain communications, bilingual speakers may then engage in code switching. Therefore, the framework shows how lexical retrieval difficulty may contribute to code switching behavior during spontaneous speech. This study employs a qualitative descriptive research design. The qualitative approach is appropriate because the study aims to describe and explore bilingual speech behavior naturally rather than measure statistically relationship between variables. The study focuses on understanding how code switching occurs during moments of lexical retrieval difficulty in spontaneous speech production. The participants of this study will consist of approximately 20 Malay English bilingual undergraduate students from UNIMAS. Participants will be selected using purposive sampling because they must meet several criteria, including being bilingual in Malay and English and regularly using both languages in communication. The participants are expected to be between 20 and 25 years old. The main instrument used in this study is an elicited speaking task. Participants will respond verbally to several speaking prompts in English for approximately 2 to 3 minutes. The prompts may involve topics such as university life, personal experiences, or opinions on familiar issues. Their responses will be audio recorded for transcriptions and analysis. This speaking test is partially adapted from previous bilingual speech production studies but simplified into a more natural, spontaneous speaking activity. For the data collection procedure, participants will first be briefed about this study and asked to provide consent. Next, they will complete the spontaneous speaking task individually in face-to-face setting. All speech responses will be audio recorded. The recordings will later be transcribed manually. During transcriptions, the researcher will identify instances of code switching, pauses, fillers, hesitation markers, and other signs of lexical retrieval difficulty. The collected data will be analyzed using thematic analysis. First, the speech recordings will be transcribed to written form. Then, the researcher will identify patterns related to code switching and lexical retrieval difficulty. The analysis will focus on the frequency of code switching occurrences, the types of words or expressions that are switched, and how code switching appear during hesitations or retrieval difficulty. The finding will later be interpreted using Green's inhibitory control model. In conclusion, this study aims to provide a better understanding of bilingual speech productions among Malay English bilingual undergraduates. The study is expected to show how code switching may function as a communication strategy during moments of lexical retrieval difficulty rather than being viewed as a linguistic weakness. It is also expected to contribute to psycholinguistic and bilingualism research within the Malaysian university context. Thank you for listening. I welcome any questions or suggestions regarding my study.